Stitch, Lilo, Nani, David, Pleakley, Jumba, Mr. Bubbles, Captain Gontu, the High Councilwoman, and so many others. If you're a child of the 2000s like me, this movie was a huge part of your childhood. It's a national treasure that you grew up with. And then this thing came out, and it's desecrating the legacy of my favorite childhood movie. So now it's my turn. I designed a character, a self-insert OC, and a Lilo and Stitch experiment to join the many, many experiments in the series. These are my thumbnails, so you know that I actually drew these, and the Stitch inspiration pictures that I used, and I'm going to rant about the Lilo and Stitch movie. The biggest issue I have with it is that they did not make Pleakley a crossdresser. That's like his whole thing. That and mosquitoes, which they didn't really include either. Also, spoilers for the new Lilo and Stitch movie. I should have mentioned that before. They didn't include Captain Gontu, who is an amazing villain, the main antagonist of the first movie, and the secondary antagonist of the next movie. He's just an all-around great character. Well, the third movie. I mean, the second of Stitch has a glitch, but that's beside the point. He has a great character arc. He forms an amazing friendship with the sandwich-loving, super-powered, lazy person that we can all relate to, Ruben. We all just want to sit down and make a sandwich instead of destroying the world. Anyway, so my OC is based on my picture for my channel, and then I was going for a galactic theme for the experiment that I have sitting on my shoulder in that picture. But it ended up kind of being more of an artsy theme. So, her power is to create black holes that can destroy any matter that gets near them. But since I realized that she kind of looks like she's got paint strokes on her, maybe she can take the matter that she destroys and recreate it once she's turned good so she can create new things. Her pattern and the exact positions of her stars and constellations change because I overcomplicated this design and I'm too lazy to make more of an effort to figure out where they all go. Another thing that I didn't like about the Lilo and Stitch movie, again, spoilers, is that they made Jumba the antagonist. Jumba is like the original Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He's a well-meaning dork that tries his very best to be evil, but it's just not him. He's much better at home making weird but slightly helpful gadgets for the family to use, you know, that sort of thing. And they changed Ohana from Ohana means family and family means no one gets left behind or forgotten to Ohana means I'm going to California and I'm leaving you here with our neighbors. One of the best parts about the Lilo and Stitch movie was that Nani understood Lilo in ways that nobody else did. And she wasn't going to leave her because she understood that Lilo was going to struggle if she wasn't there. Also, this is my dog. This is my dog. That's my dog, and that's also my dog. And there's my dog giving kisses. I'm showing you these wonderful pictures of my dog because I decided to include him in this universe. He is one of 3 dogs that I have, but he is the one that I have had for the longest time. He's the best behaved, and he's the most photogenic, in case you couldn't tell. I decided to draw a little character sheet for my OC, whose name is B, because that sounds like a nickname that people have for me in real life. So that's B, and my dog's name is Hank, That's his real life name too. So I decided to draw a picture of bee sketching, another one in a literal bee hoodie because my family does have honeybees, and that is definitely something I'd wear. One of a t-shirt based on the hoodie that I have in my actual like channels picture, and then one of me just hanging out with my dog because that's definitely something I would do. He's very cuddly. In the first picture I drew, you can see one of the black holes that the experiment, whose name is Lyra, can create. There's already an experiment called Holio that can create black holes. And according to the research I did for this, because I did, the 400s can control like elements and natural disasters. Excuse me, the 500s can do that. While the 600s are more into like destroying whole cities and worlds and stuff. So I think Lyra would be like right in between the 500s and the 600s, maybe 599 is her experiment number. She has a similar aspect to Holio because if I'm not mistaken, Holio is in the 600s. So maybe she's the prequel to Holio, and she discovers later on with her little character growth similar to Stitch that instead of destroying everything, she can help create things, which kind of ties into the fact that my OC is an artist like myself. I was originally going for an art style based on Lilo and Stitch, and then I was like, nah, I'm doing this my way. Full disclosure, this is not my hairstyle. My natural hair color is brown. I did dye it blue a few times, but I really like this art style. And the hairstyle, I also included my little wolf ear headphones from my original picture with the one with the t-shirt. If anyone's wondering what breed my dog is, he's a Labradoodle, and he is super friendly and cuddly. I was going to draw him and Lyra cuddling, but I just forgot, sorry, and I wanted to post this before any more days went past. I'm sorry for all the zooming in and the weird camera angles because this is my first time using a screen recording for something like this, so I'm still working out the kinks. I feel like originally Lyra, and fun fact, she is named after the constellation that contains the largest star, Vega, which means vulture. Anyway, so Lyra originally is very much like the other experiments, where she is fulfilling her purpose to be evil and causing mass destruction. And then she happens upon my OC, and preferably my dog, without hurting either of them. And she has to learn how to be a productive member of society, as Stitch does in the movie. And she learns how to use her powers for good. There isn't the part in the movie, really, where it's like Ohana means family and Nani is trying to get rid of Stitch. It's not really there where Lilo like gives the whole Ohana means family means no one gets left behind or forgotten. And that kind of like reiterates why Nani is trying so hard for her sister to stay. And also, Lilo's a very good representation of autistic characters in media because Nani's right. Lilo is quirky. People wouldn't understand her quirks, her stims, her fixations, and as such, they wouldn't be able to take care of her and help her, and autistic people do not cope with change very well. So Lilo probably would have freaked out and had a harder time adjusting to being in a new situation. as exemplified by her running away in the beginning. Well, not in the beginning, later on, when the social worker, Bubbles, is trying to take her away. Another thing, Bubbles isn't like some cool, mysterious background character that's also trying his best to be compassionate and help out people. Like, he's like a puppy, but also could kill you, and he looks like he could kill you. He's the meaning of looks like it could kill you is a cinnamon roll. Because he genuinely wants what's best for Lilo, and he doesn't think that that is staying with Nani. And the fact that he has past experience with the aliens. But in this new movie, he's also hunting down Stitch. In the original, nobody knows Stitch is there. But he's trying to find Stitch, and it's this whole thing, and it's very annoying to me. Because I liked the old Bubbles. He's like mysterious and cool and intimidating, and then Lilo's just like, is your name Bubbles? Yeah, Cobra Bubbles. He's a great character. I like that it hints that he and the High Councilwoman knew each other way back then, and that he kind of works with the aliens a little. But now he's more into retirement, and he's a social worker. I like that aspect of him. But in this new movie, which is really annoying, they don't include that. And like Pleakley's whole thing is he's dorky, he tries his best, he's obsessed with mosquitoes until he learns the cold, hard truth that they are blood-sucking little vampires. And he likes to dress up as a woman and read women's magazines. But they don't include those aspects. They used CGI to make them look like their alien selves, and then they had to disguise as humans using like this technology thing that made them actually look like a human. But it's so much more funny when they're trying to dress up like a human and failing miserably, but people are like too polite to say anything because they're like, oh, that person looks a little bit weird, but they're like, no, that's not an alien, that's just Tina, she's a Cyclops. You know? And it's a little bit frustrating. No, it's very frustrating. Like, those are key aspects of Pleakley's character. And the only reason that they didn't have enough CGI budget to make them be aliens cross-dressing the whole time is because they put all their CGI budget into a certain little Disney princess flop that I am not getting into right now because I saw that one and it was terrible. I didn't pay to go to the movies to see it. I waited until it came out on Disney Plus. Duh, because why would I waste my money on that? I'm a broke college student. Why would I do that? Anyway, getting sidetracked. Like, it was cool how they had the teaser of Leroy, the villain, when Jumbo was trying to turn Stitch into Evil Stitch, and how they also had the Easter eggs of the other experiments, like Angel. But that's not how it's supposed to go. Jumbo is the OG Dr. Doofenshmirtz. He's trying so hard to be evil, but it's just not his thing. You know? If you know, you know. And I've been talking for a very long time and ranting about this movie. Like I said, my family has honeybees, and bee sounds very similar to a nickname that people have for me. For anyone who wants to know, I did this in Sketchbook because, again, I'm cheap and this is a free app that I can use. I thought that blue would go very well with contrasting the yellow because blue's complementary color is in fact yellow, whereas purple complements orange. And I wanted to kind of do like a more bluish indigo purple instead of like a straight out purple because that would make my hair look like it was Halloween time. And blue and orange are a very cool color scheme together. It's absolutely one of my favorites. I know that it's Hawaii, but I wanted my character to wear something that looks like something that I would wear, so maybe it's Hawaiian winter and it's a little bit colder and it's raining and my character is wearing a hoodie and jeans because it's slightly colder than what it would normally be in Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii. I want to. I think the waterfalls there are beautiful and I want to go sightseeing. And see some sea turtles because they're beautiful and one of my favorite animals. So I think that would be something that my character likes to do. If you've seen any of my videos, you know that one of my favorite things to paint is landscapes. So I'm thinking my character likes to go on hikes with the dog and sit and paint waterfalls or other beautiful scenery. Like that sort of thing. And I think that the experiment Lyra would tag along, and maybe while they're out in the woods, like looking at a waterfall or something, that's when they meet Lyra. Experiment 599, as aforementioned. That would be a pretty accurate to me way for her to meet her. This is my character sheet based on those pictures of Stitch that I showed earlier, because I could not for the life of me figure out how to do this. The ears are a lot larger than Stitch's, because I also wanted to base this on another animal that I have, so they're like a weird mix between cat and bunny ears. And her colors and markings kind of swap around. These are my finished pictures, by the way. I hope you enjoy them, and make sure to come back to my channel.